On Robyn!
Hi.
No one can see me now.
No one can see you now.
Okay, spoilers. Spider-Man dies.
If only.
Spoilers, Thor wasn't actually in the movie. He was mo-capped in from every frame.
Probably.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Chris Hemsworth, though.
He gets naked
He gets naked.
a wee bit.
Mostly.
Lost my top, my bottle.
It doesn't top anymore.
Darn it.
Okay,
Things and stuff.
apparently there's a lot of... Apparently the original cut of this was about an hour longer, so there's a lot of
But
stuff
what if that will
which...
be on the DVD?
I'm hoping, but probably on the Blu-ray. They cut down on extras on DVDs recently.
Can I do my standard plot recap where I get everything wrong and make everybody annoyed?
Okay.
So, like, the producers realised that they left a big plot hole that nobody had thought about Loki's staff since the first Avengers, and then, like, they all tried to go and find it. And
They thought about it in Winter Soldier. We saw Baron von Strucker using it.
Yeah, but that was later.
Yeah, after Winter... It was Winter Soldier, though. That was
Yeah.
the post-credit bit for that.
But they didn't think about it in Avengers.
Yeah, they didn't, but they thought about it in Winter Soldier.
That's like the specific reason Banner was there.
Wah!
But they go and find it in like this place in a made-up country that's vaguely Middle Eastern.
It's not Middle Eastern.
It's Eastern
Yes, it is.
European.
Yeah, it's like Poland-ish, made up.
It's like somewhere in the Eastern Bloc.
It's
But there's
It's
sand
like
and shit
It's
and like
ex-Russia.
It's-
dust and red stuff.
probably actually because I'm commenting
And there
about
was
like
also
civil.
snow.
There's like civil war and there was like fighting stuff over 20 years. It's probably like an analogous to Bosnia or Chechnya.
Somewhere in the Caucasus.
So there you go.
Can it be the fourth Baltic state?
Possibly.
Okay, so they're in the fourth Baltic state, and they like find that this place has the staff, but like this bitch, the Scarlet Witch, is like giving everybody nightmares.
Scarlet Witch is awesome.
And she like touches Tony Stark and he freaks out and sees like Chitari, Cincinnati, and like freaks out and everybody's dead. And then like she mind controls everybody while like this unobtainium has been found.
Vibranium.
Unobtainium, damn it! Has been found, and like Ultron's like, I'm real now. I used to be in the staff. For some reason, this weapon had a fully sentient mind in it.
It didn't have a fully sentient mind. It gave life to the security program that Hulk and Iron Man had been working on.
What part of I'm doing a recap where I get everything wrong? Did you not quite get?
Why don't you pretend it just takes place in Texas?
This place takes in Texas, and then like there's a battle, and then they go to a farm, and then there's like another battle, and then like Ultron lifts a country and says he's going to drop it in the world, and then like he fails.
For someone who's trying to get it wrong, you're getting everything right now.
Well, yeah, well that's...
Omega, what do you think?
Can I talk about philosophy now?
Yes.
Okay. So basically what I said about Avengers 1, if you will go back, and the caption for that address vlog.
I have to
will appear
rewatch
down
this
there.
now just to make sure I put this in the right place. If I
Then
forget...
I said what I didn't like about Avengers 1 was that it felt like, ta-da, it's the heroes. It was just the heroes striding around, just biffing everything and making wisecracks and winning all the time. And there was no sense of anything being risked. You never thought, oh my gosh, what if they don't make it? You always knew they were going to win, and they always did win. And they won with a smug smirk grin. And it just felt like there was no stakes. Well, this was the complete opposite. This time you felt that there were stakes. And from the beginning of the film, a phrase kept bouncing around in my mind. And it's a quote from Dickens' A Christmas Carol. And it's Scrooge and one of the spirits, when the spirit is taking him off to see the past. And the spirit, goes out the window and flies, and Scrooge says, "But spirit, I am mortal and liable to fall." And that phrase just kept repeating itself through my head, because as much as this was a movie about the Avengers, it was really kind of a movie about Hawkeye, and about Black Widow, and about all those little people, even the innocent bystanders, who are mortal and are liable to fall, or be smunched, or be shot by something, or be lasered, or get showered in broken glass. And I like the fact that, oh, we're gonna save the world and everything, but some of the Avengers are not quite so immortal. I mean, yeah, like, Hulk can take a nuke and still be fine in the morning, and, Thor's a god. But I like that there seemed to be more of a focus on the nitty-gritty of it. It wasn't so much polished like, it's us, the Avengers, jazz hands, that the first one was. Alright, well, anyone else can join in.
I agree.
Iron Man...
No, I do. I thought it was nice to see the more sensitive side to them, where they were quite sensitive and fucking in.
It's a fucking.
Let's get a wee bit of folk dancing going. No, like concentrating on your kind of personal side, where with that boy with the bow and arrow going home, saying that he had a family and all that crack and wee kids. It was
Please,
getting
he's
more
got a name. He's called Alan Alda.
Aye, him. It was just
Hawkeye and Max.
showing a more sensitive side to everybody, where they were just
sure.
like, "Fuck, I could die. Do I really want to do this? Yes, I do. I want to save the world. Fuck it if I die."
It's nice that they're making they made death the constant companion of this version one, but they kind of also tried to have their cake and eat it too, because you knew that the ones who have films coming up wouldn't die.
Thor should be dead.
Yeah, I was. See, my thought long before a trailer appeared was that Thor should die in this one, and then because the third Thor movie is called Thor Ragnarok, have him fight his way out of Viking hell to take place. Maybe accident.
It's true. He's a god after all.
Maybe
Although
releases.
this film contained 100% less Loki than it should have.
Apparently, in the extended cut, he had a cameo.
Yeah, Thor, both dramatically and story-wise, should have died in this one.
Yeah.
They caused an explosion that disintegrated an entire country that was levitating a couple of
That was a
miles.
city.
And to be honest, he was at the epicenter of the explosion. By all,
Eye of the Storm.
there's no such thing as an explosion.
There's in Marvel, apparently.
He's also a god, though.
I have blown up many things. There
What
is
if he
no
made
such
a- what
thing
if
as
he
the
made a-
eye of an explosion.
What if he made a barrier of, like, magical lightning energy? I can do that in Dragon Age.
So kids, just about this, if you want to make a little bomb, what you want to do, you get a box of matches. Now, it's a weak place to start, I know, but you get a square of aluminium foil. Don't get actual tin foil. One, because that's fucking rare. Two, because it's super expensive. Three, because it won't work. Get a thing of aluminium foil and get a box of matches. You scrape all the heads off the matches onto the foil, then you wrap it up in a nice little package and hit it with a hammer, and you'll have a nice big bang.
The thing though about Thor, they technically didn't show us them going through any recovery process after that. So it was like the whole thing's blowing
And it's
up.
2 months later, because now the baby's like 2.
And now they're like back to normality and just getting on with things. And I really hate that you can't see that, like, what happens, what happens straight after. Like, do they have to go and recover in an igloo or something? Or do they have to get plasters? Or does he have to go back to the gods and get healed?
They could have gone to the Korean scientist, because she can do, like, nanotechnology.
Yeah.
And they have this Korean scientist
true.
has, like, basically a 3D printer for tissue. And she's like, oh,
Dr. Helen Cho.
I have a cradle of creation. It's so grand. I'm like, why are you not using this? Like, why are you not giving this technology to trauma centers all over the world?
That's what we call the Elysium debate.
She's mother of Amadeus Cho,
Who the fuck is it?
another comic character who's like the most intelligent person in the Marvel
You're-
Oh,
universe.
so there's a part where, like, they have taken a blow as okay. One thing that pissed me off about this movie is we're like, oh, we have to do it together as a team, Care Bear Stare, but we're not a team. But shut the fuck up. So there's this point where, like, they have taken a blow and they can't go back to Stark Tower because just Thor, like, kind of, or not Thor, the Hulk kind of, like, took apart a small African nation, and so they're hiding with Hawkeye's family on this farm somewhere. And they're, like, recuperating and having heart-to-hearts and things and stuff. And it reminded me so much of the first Ninja Turtles movie, where they go back to the farm, and then they all have their issues, and then they talk about it, and then they learn to fight as a team, and I was like, seriously?
They should have had a shot where Steve Rogers, because Steve Rogers in the comic and in a deleted scene in the Avengers, he draws and paints.
Raph!
So they could have.
Hey! You guys, it's Raph! He's awake!
They could have had a scene where they were, where Steve Rogers was like painting everyone, just like I think April O'Neil did in the
Yeah.
film. They could have done that, and then they have a communion with Splinter's soul and stuff.
Yeah. Except it would be Nick Fury's soul, or something like that.
Okay.
So that was
Just
Spoilers.
on another wee thing, while we're spoiling it, the Hulkbuster armor, or Project Veronica as it's called,
Code Veronica.
Code Veronica is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But it brings me to the question, if while they lack Jarvis, he doesn't have the AI on his side, he's not got the super web control, he's still able to remotely control this.
It works by vocal command.
It works by vocal command. He's still got that control over a system that's able to target him, and he says,
It's a satellite.
Veronica, give me a hand, that can suddenly shoot him a new hand for the armor, and it's like, Why is Stark's fighting style to march in there in his armor? We saw in Iron Man 3 the fucking collection of suits. He has so much more capability than this.
Yeah, but he couldn't get into Africa all of a sudden. I mean, by the time they're still, his suits are still bound by airspace.
The Iron Legion were destroyed by Ultron.
But
So all
he
he
has
had,
satellites with lasers on it.
so all he had was the one he was using, and he had the Hulkbuster.
Oh, and another thing about Hulk.
I mean, at the start, the Iron Legion isn't even employed. They're used to be like, go away, civilians. Stark could have like bits of his suit come off and be remotely controlled and shit all the time. This should be incorporated directly into his base style. But Veronica could just have a death ray on it. He has fucking laser beams that come out of his eyes. Why can't he have a satellite controlled one? He's just like, Veronica, shoot the shit out of this thing in front of me. Ah, brilliant.
That whole scene with the Hulk and Iron Man was the one that really pissed me off, that I felt was just time wasting. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, okay, let me explain myself first. In previous Marvel films, did it not show you the Hulk getting his rage under control, where he was able to
Yeah, but he
vent
was ensorcelled by the.
So I wasn't too sure if that actually happened, so his head was fucked up with
Yeah,
her.
we don't know what she was showing him.
Yeah.
Okay. So why not just airlift him away?
That's what he was trying to do.
That's what he was trying to do.
He was struggling.
Hulk
Or-
grabbed him
still has
and
mass,
pulled him down.
And he was like, wow.
He was
If
trying
it was
to.
me, I would just do his wee computery stuff to take over every radio in that town, city, country, wherever it was, and play lullabies. If it's lullabies that calm him down.
No, the
No,
lullaby
why-
was a nickname for something that they did with Black Widow.
Yeah, it looks like some kind of guided meditation because she always said the same thing.
Yeah. He was trying to lift him up because they know for a fact that if you bring the Hulk to a high altitude and drop him, he will revert to human once he hits the ground.
Well, here's the thing about that. So, we saw them destroy New York in Avengers 1. You see London get smashed up in Thor: The Dark World.
Greenwich, yes.
Greenwich, well, whatever. And you're like, oh man, wow, they're really busting the shit out of that city. It becomes a lot more upsetting and sobering when it's a city in a small African nation, and you're like, wow, this kind of seems like a lot worse somehow.
How did you know it was in Africa?
Because that's where they went in Africa. A little thing said salvage yard somewhere South Africa.
Yeah, East
Friggin'
Africa.
missed that whole
Well,
thing.
plus they were near Wakanda, which is a fictional African nation from Marvel Comics. That's where Black Panther comes from.
Yeah,
Can't
so
fucking wait for Black Panther.
it kind of seems a lot worse when it's not like
a named place.
white people in New York, running with their lattes. It's like actual people who live in a country which, if it was South Africa, does have a pretty significant history of civil unrest and horrible things happening. So I was like, oh.
I like the line, how soon can we buy that building? He drops the Hulk through a building, like an in-progress skyscraper, and he's like, how quickly can we buy that building?
So I don't know. Maybe that was just me. Maybe I've been paying too much attention to the internet. But
Now, towards the end, Nick Fury comes in with a helicarrier to save the day.
where was he hiding that? Up his ass?
He's living in a barn. He's living in a barn on Hawkeye's
I
farm.
think he was living in a barn.
Oh, he put it in mothballs, and it wasn't being used by S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore. He went and got it. It avoided being destroyed in Winter Soldier because they upgraded in Winter
Well,
Soldier.
he paid for its upkeep with all the spogs that you collect in Lego Marvel. Because that's all I could think about this entire movie. Oh man, they could be collecting so many spogs right now. Oh, don't forget to blast the bushes. That's where all the spogs are.
But he comes in with a bunch of good Shield personnel. Maria Hill was one of them. I'm pretty sure the guy that they showed was the guy who refused to fire stuff in Winter Soldier and almost got shot in the head. I saw the films back to back, so I'm pretty sure that was him. But that would have been a wonderful cameo for the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Just have them in the background operating working on the helicarrier.
We're on the TV show.
But apparently Joss Whedon, he hates the fact that the TV show which he created brought back Coulson.
Well, that was a bad move.
He was pissed off at it. It's like, Joss Whedon, you created that show, it's your own fault.
Pretty much.
Agent Coulson's death was one of the few things that gave the original Avengers depth.
So, okay, spoiler. Quicksilver in this? Okay, it's...
He has attitude.
If you put this Quicksilver with the Days of Future Past Quicksilver together, you get a really good adaptation. Everything except for visuals, because both costumes are shit.
I don't know. I like the idea of Quicksilver just wearing high-end running gear.
Yeah.
That's what it was in this.
It looked like
doesn't
Under
look good,
Armour.
though.
is what it
that's
looked like.
high-end winter running gear.
Yeah, it looked like Under Armour.
Yeah, but it doesn't look good. That's all I'm saying. It makes logical sense. It doesn't look good. But
And again, we see a war-torn. Again, it's
Better
not,
than Goggles
it's not as
McPhee.
cool if you're lifting, a war-torn Eastern European country whose people have survived like literally decades and decades of civil unrest and war. So this was basically like, let's not smash up New York. Let's smash up people who really don't deserve it and really need.
but they also smashed up Seoul.
They shot at one building in Seoul. Oh well, okay, a little bit more than that.
Yeah, but I'm like, Days of Future Past, Quicksilver got the
brilliant
got,
sequence.
yeah, the way that his powers were shown and they were filmed much better than in this one. But this one got the creepy and sort of weird incesty undertones with his sister, while the other one was just he got the prickishness. You put them together and you get the perfect Quicksilver adaptation.
Yeah.
I like Scarlet Witch though.
Scarlet Witch is awesome.
Scarlet Witch is a good thing.
I like the way that they filmed her as though she was a villain in a horror movie in a few bits, which is really, really apt. Like, Scarlet Witch is, in the comics, she's one of the most powerful people in the Marvel Universe, but her power level, like the Hulk, sort of depends on her emotional state.
Yeah.
And, for instance, her powers in the comic, because she's a mutant and the daughter of
She's
Magneto.
supposed to be basically matching Phoenix, isn't she?
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, her powers basically warp reality itself. And one time she got so pissed off, she just screamed out, "No more mutants!" And every single mutant in the entire planet, except for like 198, were all depowered and turned into regular humans instantly, including big name ones like Jubilee and stuff.
Jubilee, no.
Jubilee, who then got a robotic suit and then became a vampire.
I know. I know what happens to my baby.
But it really good adaptation of Scarlet Witch, and the fact that it's Mary-Kate and Ashley's younger sister is really funny.
Really?
Yeah.
No way! No fucking way!
And the Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, they played a married couple in the Godzilla remake.
Fault in our co-stars.
Yeah. And Quicksilver, with his 50 Shades of Grey hair, his wife directed 50 Shades of Grey.
What?
His wife, who's about 30 years his older.
Oh my.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a lot of collateral damage. People were getting shot left and right. And one of the best lines in this whole movie was Iron Man bursts in and there's all the evil scientist lackeys in the evil scientist base. He's like, "Gentlemen, I'm just here to talk." And then he shoots them
They're
all
like,
and he kneecaps pretty much all of them. He goes, "It was a great talk." And one of the guys, "No, it wasn't." I thought that was great. That was the best line in the movie.
My best line was Iron Man's. I'm getting so tongue twisted. His wee mention of Banksy. I was just so happy. There was wee butterflies in my heart when he just mentioned Banksy. For anybody who doesn't know who Banksy is, he is an English graffiti artist who
His name's synonymous to street art. Everybody knows who he is.
Well, some people might not. Who does quite controversial pieces on walls where he shouldn't. But I love them. They're amazing. I'm going to get a tattoo of one of his pieces.
I know someone who has a Banksy tattoo.
Yeah.
For the context of that, Ultron killed a guy in prison. Who was it?
Baron von Strucker.
Baron von Strucker.
Played by Thomas Kretschmann, who should have been the Red Skull. And, the fact that Baron von Strucker had a cameo in Winter Soldier and then gets taken out incredibly quickly in this and then dies off screen. It's like,
The actor might have had things
But-
to do.
Baron von Strucker is...
He killed Baron von Strucker
badass.
and
That's
painted the words. What was the word? Help.
Peace.
Peace. He killed von Strucker and painted peace on the wall. And he's like, "Well, yeah, he killed him and left a Banksy for us."
I'm just... It's like, out of all the Marvel villains, just to kill off screen after having a tiny appearance. It's like, really? Baron von Strucker? He deserves better.
See, here's the thing also that
But favorite line, my favorite line was Hawkeye to Scarlet Witch saying, "We're in a floating city, we're fighting an army of robots, and I have a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense!"
See, even he thinks he's just a bow and arrow type of guy.
well, he is. I mean, he's a farmer.
My favorite line is Tony Stark walks into a barn with an old John Deere in the middle. He goes, "Hello, dear."
Yeah, that was wonderful. I laughed. So yeah,
At that point, I was literally waiting for the tractor to talk back to him.
stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
"Hello, dear. We're going to see what's wrong with you."
One thing, the producer, the boss of the MCU, Kevin Feige, he said that he figured that Phase 2 was going to be their Empire Strikes Back, so as a joke, he put into every single Marvel movie from Phase 2, I think, a reference to Empire Strikes Back. And it's the same reference, and it's in all of them. Someone loses an arm. Or a hand.
Yeah. Well, that's clever.
Yeah, because Dark World Thor got lost to one of his in like illusion created by Loki. In this one, it was Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
In Winter Soldier, the Winter Soldier already had his lost. You know, it's quite clever.
There's also a part where like Thor's like, I must have missed something in my vision. So he gets the scientist guy from his set of movies and goes to like somewhere underground where like
Swede von Swedishness.
yeah, where
Yeah.
like the light of Helheim shines in the water or something like that. And if you've seen the fantastic documentary movie Vikingdom, I was like, oh, he's gonna go down into the Gate of Souls. So he gets in the water, gets struck by lightning, and he's like, aha, I've downloaded the plot. He literally downloaded the plot, and then runs back to tell everyone, I have seen the script.
And then there's like,
I read the
no,
spoilers.
we will create a vision.
I saw the spoilers on IO9.
He watched Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, because here's the thing, though. How do they possibly know the stuff from Guardians of the Galaxy? Oh, Thor had a vision. That's fucking cheating.
It really was. That was the roughest part of it.
fucking cheating.
Especially you got Selvig, who's like an astrophysicist.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. I thought there was werewolves or something coming for us. Oh my god.
No, they would have had to climb Craig.
I've been waiting for a Guardians reference to do that. I set that up like 10 minutes ago.
It's great.
But I agree that was a completely cheap and wrong. But I want to know why he chose Selvig to do it. Why would Selvig know where this is? Why wouldn't Thor know? Apparently
Why didn't
Thor
he go
knows
to
that
his
this
He
exists.
just needed a lift.
Yeah. You need to drive me there.
Why?
I don't have a
He
lift.
flew there to London from America.
I need to wear a hoodie.
Why did
I have no idea. Probably because they promised the guy a
Thor
cameo.
had no? There was no logical reason. This
Maybe,
it's also.
he wanted somebody to spot him and like drag him out of the water.
I think the MCU movies, and this is just take off from the comics, but apparently every single fucking scientist, if they're really an expert, they're an expert in everything. Because like as well, they had the bit where Tony Stark's like to Bruce Banner that no one knows more about biomechanical stuff than you, and it's like what?
I'm a gamma radiologist.
He's like a physicist working in gamma rays and shit like that. What the fuck are you talking
I
about?
figured it out. Edward Selvig, Thor owes him a damn favour, so he was like, you still believe in all the Nordic mythology? I'm going to show you part of it.
Okay.
Let's go to Asgard.
Like I'm fine with Thor finding out the shit due to mystical, stupid reasons because the main people on Earth kind of have to find out exactly what's happening with Thanos or something. They need to find out about the point of that in some way, and it's
Who's Thanos' dad?
I don't know.
Who are his people?
He's a Titan.
Like, but were there other of him?
Yes, Kronos.
No, no, I know in classical mythology. I meant in the Marvel MCU.
I don't know what it's like in the MCU. Probably in the comics, if I remember correctly, he was an alien from the Moon Titan.
Oh.
But I know who his girlfriend is.
Who?
And she better be in Avengers 3, the personification of death.
But,
No.
Wait,
She's cheating on Deadpool?
Neil Gaiman's one?
No, the Marvel one.
Oh, because that would have been really cool.
She's
She's all
basically.
like goth hot.
I think actually they might have done something where they made a reference to her as a different incarnation of death, but
No.
in the Marvel, typically death is basically a skeleton wearing a robe. But she,
Then how do they know she's a she?
because
she
she has
can communicate.
Gender
conversations.
binary.
She has conversations and she dates Thanos.
Oh.
But the first thing Thanos does in the comics, and I hope they do this in the movie, whenever he gets the Infinity Gauntlet, all the gems put together, he kills half the universe as a gift to her.
I love
Does
you.
that mean that the Vision's gonna die?
I reckon Vision is going to die in Avengers 3.
Well, he's made of a stone. Okay, let me just say this about the Infinity Gems. Like, they are freaking everywhere. They're, like, giving them away in breakfast cereals. What's going... There's, like, 17 squillion of them.
There's
You
7.
can't-
There's 6
You
of them.
You can't walk down the street without tripping over an Infinity Gem.
There's 6 of them.
Well, they're kind of awfully common, I'm just saying.
There's
They're
the
appearing
Vision
because of
Stone,
Thanos.
the Mind Stone, there's the Tesseract, there's the thingy, the red dust from the
Aether.
Dark World, the Aether, there's the shit the Guardians were trying to keep away from Raven,
The orb.
the Orb.
The orb.
You say orb oddly.
Sorry.
Or, say it
It's
again.
okay.
The orb. The orb.
I don't know. That's ringing weirdly in my head.
That's all
Maybe
right.
it's just 'cause it's a nonsense word. I don't know.
The circle.
The sphere.
Okay.
The MacGuffin.
The dot.
So we have
So
4.
there's 2 more. They're gonna have like the soul gem. I'm pretty sure it's gonna appear in Doctor Strange. I don't know when the other one's gonna appear. But yeah, my
Ant-Man.
my prediction. No, there won't be
He
one.
like
Ant-Man.
goes down an anthole and finds it and digs it up. Look, I found it, and he brings it back in his mandibles with his brothers. We found it. We found it. We found it.
My prediction.
I'm Ant-Man, and no one gives a
It
fuck
doesn't
about
actually
my
turn
movie.
into an ant, you know.
I don't care. Mandibles.
My prediction for for the first part of Infinity War, Thor. This team of Avengers set up at the end of this will take on Thanos and they will lose.
And Howard
The
the Duck will
Vision-
escape from the Collector and bring them.
The Vision will die because the Vision they've said is the most powerful members of the Avengers, possibly more powerful than all of them combined.
He had a very classical look. Like he looked like he literally stepped out of like 1932.
Yeah,
His
but
character design, I mean.
but he will die and Thanos will take the mind gem from him because what's a classic trope of how you prove that someone's powerful? You kill the most powerful one of the good guys, or you beat them up.
You take their power.
So they're gonna kill Vision, I think, in Avengers Infinity War 1.
Oh, and at the end they were like, "Aha, new Avengers, assemble!" And it basically they could have just come right out and said, "Aha, new intellectual property licenses and merchandising, assemble!"
Everybody in that team had been in movies before,
Yeah,
apart
I
from
know,
the
but
Scarlet
now they'll
Witch.
have like
No, she was in Winter Soldier, apart
now,
from the Vision.
now they'll have like T-shirts. And
But Jarvis has been in all of them.
Yeah, but he said, I'm not Jarvis. He said he's the Vision. He's different. Dun-dun-dun.
I love that boy with the wings.
Oh, the Falcon?
Yeah.
I'm sad he didn't
I
turn
like
up at
him.
the end because you had Nick Fury turned up with War Machine. It was like, you have Falcon there, would have been like all the, the black guys coming to save the day.
Oh, was he not?
Don't worry, white people, we got this one.
So who was the guy in the other Iron Man suit?
War Machine.
Yeah, there's 2 of them.
Yeah,
Who?
there
War
are two black
Machine.
people.
War Machine works for the US government.
Yeah, there's 2 black superhero guys. One in wings, one in a robotic suit.
I thought they were.
And then there's the
Oh, God.
Oh my god!
Anthony Mackie is different from Don Cheadle.
John Cheadle's awesome.
One of them played Captain Planet.
So why was he only there at the end? What the fuck was he doing?
He was in the
around
party
this?
as well.
Because he's gonna be an Avenger now.
Well, why couldn't he have fucking helped them during this war of
I
robots?
don't know.
No, maybe he's like
Literally, his only power is that they can fly.
yeah.
And shoot guns
Well,
quite
sure.
efficiently. Oh, well, in the
Better than
comics, he
nothing.
also has the power he can talk to birds.
I know.
That could have come in useful.
Quickly, birds, to me.
Gandalf, get the eagles!
Well, to be fair, Squirrel Girl's big power is she can talk to squirrels, and she defeats everyone,
Yeah, but
including
she doesn't
Thanos.
technically count. She's like the onion of the MCU.
She defeated Thanos.
She gets Iron Man armor.
Oh. Did you notice how the replacement Jarvis is an Irish woman?
Yes, called Friday.
I was wondering if that was a reference to His Girl Friday, but I didn't know if that was too older a reference. And they're like,
Oh, but Mr. Stark, that'll blow up the island.
Was she Irish?
Yeah.
we-
Actually,
So Irish.
shut the front door.
No.
I need to watch this again.
I'm
No,
open
it's
the front
cold.
door.
Stop it! It's cold.
Oh.
It's cold in Ireland, you guys. It is.
Okay.
We're at 28 minutes.
it is?
So a couple minutes. The Vision is severely uncanny valley.
He
didn't think
he
so.
needs different eyes.
It's
For some reason, I would like him better if he had no irises.
yeah, I agree. But can you tell? Okay,
Doctor
was
Red
it
Hatton.
was it makeup? Was it prosthetics? Was it CGI? Was it mocap? Was it a mixture of all of
I
them?
think it was a mixture of all.
It came across very well, and maybe it's not actually better than other mocap characters I've seen, but maybe because he's supposed to be made of plastic, therefore it's like a crap thing made better than you expect, so therefore it's good.
He's the 3D printed man.
Yes.
I thought it was just a plastic morph suit.
No, it's like a mixture of stuff.
completely like
If
his
they tried,
own-
if he was a CGI'd person looking like that, it would have looked crap. But because he's supposed to be made of plastic and artificial and stuff, it looks good. But it's severely uncanny valley.
And I'm surprised.
Not in a bad way, a good way.
I'm surprisingly okay with the whole Black Widow Hulk thing. I think
not.
it works.
Betty
Oh, so
Betty
good.
Ross is upset.
Well,
Banner has a
everyone-
girlfriend.
Well, he doesn't anymore because now he's at the bottom of the sea or something.
It's like, Banner,
Oh, yeah, he
you
never came back.
bastard.
No.
Did you miss that?
Hey, me?
Yes.
No, I just remembered he never came back.
Banner's
Aw.
two-timing his
And I
girlfriend.
did like that as the Hulk, his mannerisms and the CGI looks a lot closer to Mark Ruffalo than it did in previous movies.
I think he's such a sweet guy when he's just Banner and not Hulky.
He's like,
No, he's
and there
not.
was lots of-
He's
lots of-
so
lots of
nice.
He's
science
awful.
fiction.
He's enabling Tony Stark.
I would
Yeah, but it's
totes
because
give
he's
him a
like all
cuddle.
noodly and he doesn't. He's that kind of friend that doesn't really want to go along with it. but
He's not
like,
neurotypical.
No.
I didn't say
At
I just said I'd like to give him a cuddle.
him like being awkward at a party was the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
He doesn't even realize that Black Widow's flirting with him until Captain America says something. And when Captain America tells you that you need to up your player game, you won't need help.
I would be so much more happier with it if it was Captain America dating Black Widow, because his girlfriend's
No,
95 and has
He's a
Alzheimer's.
tosser, and we don't like him,
Actually?
and he can just go cry about it.
Yeah, in Winter Soldier, you
Oh
saw.
yeah, because he's like so young
Yeah,
and
Yeah, he was born in 1919.
He can, like there was that moment
You
where
forgot he was.
No, there's that moment where he's like watching like Tony drive away and thinks and stuff, and then he like sighs and like goes outside to meet him. Like I put my own I saw him sigh, and in my mind I was like, maybe I should start voting Democrat. Oh well. Hey Tony.
I liked it whenever Captain America was just chopping wood with Tony, and Tony pissed him off, and he's like,
And he
rips
just
the
ripped
wood
it in
apart.
half. He's like, stop stealing from my pile, awesome. But I really like how you have seen Tony Stark evolve as a character, that like his whole anxiety thing, which was kind of weird and strange because Iron Man 3 was so all over the place. But now he's like, oh, I have to save the world because aliens are coming.
So, we need to wrap this up pretty soon
Yeah.
because of warning stuff. but
Yeah,
What Chris is Marvel going to employ next?
that's true. They have a bunch of Chris's. I don't know, but
Chris.
I can't wait for.
Because there's Chris Pratt.
Chris-
Chris the other one.
Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pratt, and Chris Evans.
Imagine having your surname Pratt.
Then he's falling.
Oh.
I can't wait for Ant-Man, and I can't wait for Civil War.
I don't
want
wanna see
I want
Ant-Man.
Civil Warrior. I love
I
Civil
want.
War.
I want Captain America to punch Iron Man in the face.
No. Captain America needs to shut his fucking mouth.
I
and
reckon.
realize
I reckon.
Oh, he's so nice.
No, he needs to realize that it's not farm times anymore. We all have iPods now.
I reckon
Okay.
Iron Man is going to work with the government, and he's going to employ supervillains from previous films to be on his side, and then Captain America's going to punch him in the face, and then he's going to be like, yeah, that was a stupid idea, and then come around and they have to beat the supervillains up together.
Can we not just get that guy from Guardian of the Galaxies to join the Avengers?
Which one?
Star-Lord,
Yeah.
Groot.
Well, Star-Lord would be the most useless Avenger ever.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
but he's so pretty.
Well, he's not human.
Yeah, but he doesn't actually have any
Exactly.
powers.
He's tough.
He's less tough than Black Widow
he
or
has
Hawkeye.
witty repartee.
I
They already
literally,
have that. That's not a superpower.
Yes, it is.
I literally watched Marvel.
Wouldn't that be terrible if that you were an X-Men and that was like your X-Men power, was you were just really witty? Okay, good.
It's a bit like Empath.
Yeah.
There's a couple of X-Men who've had powers similar to that, sort of manipulation in various ways. But any other member of the Guardians would be more useful in the Avengers than in Star-Lord.
There was no
Any.
boobs. There was no boobs.
Thor 2.
There's sometimes some boobs showing.
There was in the
Oh,
Marvel
showing
films.
around.
There was no
Oh,
boobs.
best, really nice Stan Lee cameo where he was playing himself because he is a World War II veteran.
And he said
And if, you,
Excelsior.
and if you look in the credits, he is playing himself. That is great.
That's really cute. I didn't know he was a robot.
Well, Thor's got this like drink, and it's
Yeah.
like, this was aged for 1,000 years, and barrels made from the wreck of such and such. It is not for mortal men. And he's like, go on, give me some. And he's like, it's Excelsior.
It was really great. You're like, ee. And see, the thing is, I expected to see the words "True Believer" flash on the screen to mean that I got all the spogs. That didn't happen because there were no spogs. How could there not be spogs?
But we should wrap this up.
Yeah.
Rap.
There's no point in us telling you to go and see it.
'Cause
You're going to see
You're
it.
going to see it. And it's
Yeah.
going to happen.
Plus,
so
and, you know-
just lay back, think of England, and let it happen.
And assuming we're not dead, some of us are going to see Ant-Man. She's not. She hates
I'll
Ant-Man.
see it probably.
Where's Ant-Man?
He's a
That's
guy
the
who can
guy.
turn very small and
Like
control
literally, no,
ants.
he has a suit
He's the
that
next
turns him
film.
small. He's just
Is it
some
Marvel?
guy.
Yeah, that's the next
Just a
one.
random guy?
Yeah.
He can turn tiny
Well,
and
he
control
was
ants.
a criminal. He was a bank robber or something. Come to me, ants.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.